Hey guys, did you get rejected by your dream school? Or are you in the process of getting all of your college admissions decisions back and crossing your fingers and still waiting and wondering what steps you're going to take next? If so, in this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about what to do when you've been rejected by your dream school. Before we get into this though, I want to remind everyone, subscribe to our channel. Click on subscribe below this video. Head to SupertutorTV.com/subscribe and subscribe to our mailing list. We'll let you know when we have new videos, when we have any deals, when we have anything exciting going on our channel. And we have a full prep course for the ACT and the SAT if you are trying to get the best score possible, or if your first round of applications wasn't as awesome as you are. Make sure you get the score that reflects who you are. You can sign up at SupertutorTV.com. I've scored perfectly on both tests. I've helped students prep to perfect scores and close to perfect scores, so go check it out. And one more thing, we've released a couple of books for the ACT Math section. You can learn more about those and watch our awesome, exciting trailer, complete with flying pencils, at SupertutorTV.com/books. We hope you enjoy it. And then social media. Find us on social media. Join us there. We will be doing some giveaways in the next couple of weeks on our social media channels, not YouTube. So if you want to give away, you got to plug into our other channels. Okay, rejection is never fun. So I'm going to give you guys 5 things that you can do if you've been rejected by a school that you love. The first thing that you can do that sometimes works, though it doesn't always work, is you can write an appeal letter. Now, when it comes to an appeal letter, what that is it's a letter that you write to the school to say, hey, you really missed out on me and you should have let me in. Some caveats about appeal letters. You've got to really take a good look at what's your dream school. This is probably not going to work at Harvard unless you've recently cured cancer. So if you're looking at schools like Harvard and Stanford and MIT, if you didn't get in the first time and you got completely flat out rejected, unless there is some random weird idiosyncrasy in your application, if something didn't get to them, if something was wrong, unless there's something like that, you're probably not going to reverse anything. But if you're applying to a larger school, like a state school, or a school with a higher admit rate, even something over 10%, over 15%, I have seen this work for students. I actually go into this process in depth in our what to do when you're waitlisted video. It's the same advice. So if you're going to take this step, I recommend that you go check that out. Be reasonable. I wouldn't write appeal letters unless you know your stats are very strong and that you are definitely on par with everybody who got in. You've got the activities and you've got everything lined up. But you can try. I have seen students fight their way in tooth and nail into schools, and you might be able to do it too. Second tip is revise your dream school and gain some perspective. I know sometimes it can hurt a lot when you don't get in where you really, really want to go, but take a look at the colleges that you did get into. Take a fresh look at them and see what they have to offer. Just because you don't go to the best school in the country according to some magazine's list of top 10 schools doesn't mean that you can't have an amazing educational experience. And it doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to do awesome things with your life. Remember how much opportunity you do have. I mean, if you've even gotten this far, if you're even watching my channel, chances are that you've got some opportunity coming your way in your life. And if that's the case, be thankful for what you have. Be thankful for the admissions that you do have if you have some. And I realize that some of you might have 0 so far. You might be freaking out. And if so, let's move on to number 3. So number 3 is you can always think of a transfer plan. Even if you've gotten nowhere, there's always community college. And most community colleges don't have requirements for admission besides graduating from high school. So if you've graduated from high school, you can enroll in a community college. And if you get amazing grades in community college, you can transfer to some top universities. I know we cover this in our video on transferring. So if you're interested in this option, I have some tips in that video of what specific schools actually look out for transfer students and try to give transfer students a leg up. So if this college admissions process didn't work out so well for you, it is not over. I know plenty of people who've been very successful in life and started in community college. People who are near and dear and close to me, people who now are very successful lawyers that work down the hallway from people who I went to Stanford with. Or Jenny, who used to work at our company, for example, went to Berkeley and she first started at community college. So it's an awesome way to save a lot of money. It's much cheaper than going to a big, expensive private school. Save a lot of money, and then you can get into a great school. Not all schools are going to accept a lot of transfers, that's true. The door might be shut for you for Princeton or for Stanford or for some of these schools that have 1% admit rates or 0% admit rates by the time it rolls around to transfer season. But you can still go somewhere awesome. So figure out a community college you can go to. And my best advice is work your bottom off and do really well. And I think you can find that if you work hard, you can still work your way up. It's not over. You are the deciding factor in your future, not some letter that some random university happens to send to you. Number 4, aim for grad school. So just because you didn't get into your dream school now doesn't mean you still can't go there. One easier way to go to a top college is to actually apply for a graduate program. A little known secret of a lot of top schools is that their graduate admissions rates are often higher or far higher than their undergraduate admissions rates. For example, like Harvard Business School, that sounds super competitive to get into, right? Its admit rate is almost double that of Harvard undergrad. Who knew, right? Crazy. So if you're looking at under 5% admit rates at your dream schools, think about graduate school. And that's just the business school, which is like the most competitive one. If you want to study like East Asian studies or something like that, your admit rate's going to be a lot higher. So you can still go to the school that you fell in love with, but maybe you can go for graduate school and extend your education. Especially if you're an international student, I think this is really good advice. It is so hard to get into a top college in the US as an international student. So hard. Because these colleges just don't know the academic rigors of your high school. And it's hard to tell when you're coming from way overseas, how much can they trust from your application? How much can they vet? It's just a little bit harder for them. And then on top of that, you've also got competition, especially if you're coming from an oversaturated kind of like country that's sending tons and tons of applicants. Colleges don't know who to accept and who not to accept. So a lot of times you're going to get lost in the shuffle. So if you want to go to a college like that, think about graduate school. There are lots of great graduate programs. If you really want to be a leader in your field, graduate school can be a great option, a great way to educate yourself and sort of raise the bar. My last piece of advice is take heart, because top schools, in some ways, are overrated. If you want to gloat about that idea, we have a whole video on the research that has shown that basically life outcomes are very similar for people who apply to top schools as people who go to top schools. So if you've applied to really good schools, chances are your life outcomes are going to be similar to the people who actually go there. In any case, just remember, life is not over. It's going to be okay. This is one domino in a string of events that are going to form who you are and who you become. And just remember that you are the biggest ingredient in your success, not where you go to school. So good luck with whatever you decide to do as you face the stage of figuring out where you're going to go to college and accepting an offer. And if you didn't get any offers, it's not the end of the world. There is still room for you in our great, big, awesome world. And you can make a difference. So muster all that grit you've got, take a step forward. You're going to be fine. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If so, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and check us out on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, and I will see you guys next time on Super Tutor TV. Thanks for watching.